I think what we tried to do was we tried to do things the right way. I think we tried to practice the right way and prepare the right way. What happened on game day was ultimately a reflection of what we practiced. And I thought we had great leadership from our coaches, and it filtered down to the guys who really drove the culture. We had so many guys that I played with over the course of a lot of years that, really understood that, okay, I'm going to care about my teammates and I'm going to care about helping the team win. And whatever personal agenda you had, individual success and individual awards, I don't want to make those insignificant, but they weren't as significant as what we were trying to accomplish as a team. And I think being a real selfless player and understanding that if the ball didn't come your way as a receiver and it went somewhere else, that was a great thing for the team, as opposed to a lot of times, if it doesn't go to you or if you don't make the tackle, you get frustrated that you don't feel like you're a part of it. To me, it was always when we'd score touchdowns, we'd celebrate with the O-line, because without them, we didn't have anything. I didn't have time to throw the ball. We didn't have holes that we could open up in the O-line for our backs to get through. We didn't have, when we had tight end like Gronk at the point of attack. And early in my career, Dan Graham, one of the great blockers that I've ever seen. We could run to the tight end, and that tight end now could release up the seam and throw the ball for a big gain on third down. You can get to big targets in the red area. But again, it was all teamwork. It was the running backs blocking and pass protection so that the receivers could catch the ball. And then it was receivers blocking in the run game so we could spring our backs for long runs. Those were the things that I thought we celebrated a lot as a team that maybe aren't glorified on television, but those are the things I'd like to point out when I'm on Fox next year. It's that this is the ultimate team sport. We're playing chess out there. We're not thinking about, necessarily where the ball is. I'm looking for things that are creating these opportunities for everybody to make plays, whether it's offense, defense, or in the kicking game.
The way you've described the team here throughout this entire conversation, whether it's Noble or you're talking about those Patriot squads, do you think that's because you're like pick 199? Guy that wasn't necessarily Heisman in college? Because the big story that everybody says that was a New England Patriot, that was a player, they go, Bill Belichick would say the same things to Tom Brady, who is sitting in the front row, as he would say to everybody else. And I think people that played high school football are like, yeah, of course he would coach everybody the same way. But that's not normal across the NFL.
Yeah.
I think you know that from now probably hearing about stuff in other buildings. And the reason why it's mentioned so much is because it's not normal. Like, you just have this, why do you think you're the guy who would go on to be the greatest of all time, but also would take a mother from a head coach in front of all of your peers and not really, make a big deal out of it? Actually, you would warrant the team to get better because now Bill could say that to everybody else on the team. Did you realize that in a moment that was one of the traits that you have that not a lot of people have? And why do you think you're that person?
Well, I think I was coached pretty hard in high school, and I was coached pretty hard in college, and I was used to that style. And I think we all got to the Patriots, and when we did things right, there was a lot of team success. And when we didn't do things right, I think what I appreciated about that environment and what I see in the business world a lot, and I don't see it as much in NFL teams right now, is accountability. And I think that there's a certain way that the team needs to operate in order to be successful. And I was okay with that. If the coach was going to be hard on me, I was going to accept the difficult coaching because I needed to hear it. And again, it motivated me. And there was a lot of players on our team that would see me get coached hard and that they would say, okay, I got to step my game up because I don't want to get yelled at. Tom's getting yelled at. I don't want to get yelled at. Yeah. How do I up my game? And I think that's what accountability looks like. And you can't be, so have your ego so big that, any criticism is going to, lessen your confidence. I mean, look, you're going out there in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks in Vegas, and you got hundreds of millions of people watching. You better be tough at that point. You better have not go in there with, a weak attitude.
Fragile.
I think you got to go in there and you got to embrace the challenge, embrace the opportunity. You're going to be tested. And if your coach tests you and your teammates test you, then you can go beat your competition. If they're not testing you and you're waiting for game day to figure things out, you're at a disadvantage. So I love the fact that I was pushed every day to be my best. And I love that I had the ability to push my teammates every day to be their best. And when I did that, I knew that there was accountability back on me, that I was expected to go be my best. And ultimately that led to a lot of team success. So there's only one way to do it, in my opinion. You could do it over a short period of time. I don't think Andy Reid lets his players get off the hook. I don't think Kyle Shanahan lets his players get off the hook. I see those guys with the very disciplined style. I respect those programs for how they run it. And I hope all the teams can learn from that so that we can create the most competitive NFL that there could be, and people continue to love the sport like I have over a long period of time.
There's